Hey, welcome to a Sniper's Hide bullet point video. In this episode, I'm going to break down the new Ashbury Precision Ordnance Saber M700. This is the Sniper's Hide edition. We're going to go from back to front, break down everything and how we spec'd it and what that means for you, the end user. We have two $1,950 rifles available for you guys, and we want to show you why this is an option you should consider. So let's go and take a look. Okay, starting at the back of the rifle. First thing we want to look at is the APO limb saver. Really soft, really comfortable to put into your shoulder pocket. No drama there, great limb saver. Next, we have a spacer system. And this spacer system will allow you to change out, you can add, subtract, whatever you need to do to adjust your length of pull for the individual shooter. This rifle is all about setting up the system for the shooter. So we want to give you as much adjustability as possible. Next, you see the push button here. This is our up and down adjustment. Toolless allows you to bring it up, a neutral position, or down. For your various types of shooting, you may want it up, down, or neutral. That's the shooter's choice, but you have the ability to do so. Then, nice hook right here to hold part of the rear bag system. You could support the rifle, and that brings us to the cheek. We have an ambidextrous, a toolless adjustable cheek piece. So we got that spring loaded, and you have the ability to get in your position, find what gives you the best eye relief on your optic, and then tighten her down. And now you got a toolless adjustable cheek piece for that. Then, moving forward, we have the folding stock. Left-hand folding system locks out really good. You don't have any movement in that. This is also reversible and swappable. So if you don't want a folding stock, you can change this out with one screw and put a non-folding element. APO has a variety of different stocks available, and new stocks are coming out all the time. If you want to swap it out, it's one screw. Buy your replacement stock and you can upgrade. You can even downgrade if you want something lighter and go to a carbine style and use something like a CTR on it to save a little bit of weight. That goes and moves us forward to our grip. So the pistol grip. Here we have an M4 style pistol grip with a mag pull MOE, okay? But there's more to it than that. Right here where it says Sniper's Hide, the grip angle. You can choose between a 1911 angle or an M4 angle. As well, this grip moves forward and back to fit the size of the shooter. We want to get our hand closer, we can bring it all the way forward. Got a bigger hand and got to move it back. You could just loosen the one screw underneath, slide the whole system back, and get that good 90-degree trigger finger. This again is all about fitting the rifle to the shooter so you're comfortable behind it. We want to be able to get that good 90-degree trigger finger without having to compromise that grip. Which then brings us to the trigger. Okay, we've upgraded the trigger from the standard Remington 700 trigger to a Trigger Tech adjustable trigger. One single screw right here in the front allows you to easily adjust the weight, so that way you have a good crisp break exactly where you want it to be. Great upgrade for a 700 is changing that trigger out, and we did that for you. Okay, let's talk about the APO Saber chassis. The Saber chassis is the heart of the rifle. Okay, we built this around this chassis system because one, it's modular, lets the user choose front and back sections that they want. Once you're encased in this center section, 4 screws, you can remove the handguard. 1 screw, you can change out the stock. Adjustable pistol grip, AICS magazines with the single throw that we're all used to, holding our Remington 700 action. If we take a look at the handguard, we have an M-lock style handguard, but I removed all the venting from the top. Acts a little bit like a Mirage band. Ashbury was great to engrave Sniper's Hide on it. Looks really good, stands out well. But you have all the M-lock features. Coming from the factory out of the box, you have a sling stud here and a pick rail. M-lock pick rail, you can move it. You can remove this stud and go to another type of rail if you want something like a really right stuff dovetail. And I'll show you in the 6.5 Creedmoor how I updated that dovetail. Here we have the Bazooka Green version of it. And as you can see, we added a hard gear rail to this. We removed the sling stud, mounted it up front, and then put the M-locks in where they needed to be. We're using an Atlas Cal bipod with a really right stuff mount. And this allows us to slide it forward and back and use it as a bag rider or whatever you want. So we have the ability to adapt this rail to the most common really right stuff dovetail variants, which you see most common out there. You can also swap this out. It locks up with 4 screws. If you want to swap this handguard, you can. Ashbury sells different variants of the handguard that will mount right into this system. Finally, moving all the way to the muzzle. The rifle comes with a 3-chamber muzzle brake, very effective. It's 5/8 24. You can knock this out, put a suppressor on it. Really easy. You got your flats right here. Just take your wrench, undo it, put your can on, no problem. As noted, we're using Remington barreled actions, and I want to talk a little bit about that. Okay, so we wanted to go with something familiar to everybody. The M700 barreled action. A little bit different here though, because these barreled actions are coming into APO. Their 2112 gunsmiths are then air gauging them, deburring them, putting them back together, changing the trigger out to the trigger tech, and making sure they're ready for you. Every rifle is going to be sent out with a test target. And again, most test targets have been anywhere from 5/8 to half minute with the base package. That base package again is $19.50. Comes with the 20 MOA rail, so all you have to do is just drop your scope and bipod on this rifle and you're ready to go. We wanted a turnkey system. Add a scope, add a bipod, you're ready. And that's the main element of this. If you know, every rifle is inspected and you'll see it with an inspection sticker, date and who did it. And that gives you that confidence that this rifle was checked before it was put in your hands. So far, I've used the Bazooka Green in 4 classes. I've had students use it each time, and the success rate has just been 100%. We've gone from a system that wasn't quite working out for the student, and we're able to move them into a platform where they can actually learn on it. Then they can go back and fix the problems or limitations they have with their current system. Now, this isn't something we do regularly. We're not looking to take you away from your rifle, but if your rifle does run into a problem, rather than slowing the class down and wrench on it, we're using these as a training rifle. But there's so much more. They're a crossover. You can compete with it. The rifle has been through competitions in this configuration, and it works out really well for everybody who's used it. Great history with APO. Sniper's Hide has had a long history with them, and the whole project has just been outstanding from start to finish. So if you're interested in the Sniper's Hide Edition rifle, this is what it looks like coming out of the box, minus the scope and bipod. And you can see for yourself that the accuracy is there, and it's really a great starter rifle for somebody looking to get into precision long-range shooting. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of Sniper's Hide, and thanks for listening to the Everyday Sniper podcast. We really appreciate it.